I have been troubled and burdened about my own personal obligations to the kinds of things that you're talking about. In other words, when I stand before God, what will God think of me in terms of having known about what you have just communicated so beautifully, having known about the plight of the poor? What will God think if I didn't get my hands dirty, if I didn't get involved, if I didn't give, if in some way I didn't heed the call of the Lord to give a cup of cold water or at least a piece of bread in His name?
Correct. It is dangerous. Because Jesus tells us what will happen. He says, well, I was hungry and you did not come to me. I was thirsty and you did not give me to drink. I was naked and you didn't clothe me. I was in prison and you did not visit me. I was sick and you did not come to me. Be gone from my Father's house, be gone. And so I say to people, look, you can't. There's no negotiation on this issue. There's no negotiation. We Christians have to help the poor. There's no negotiation, right? And what I find in some of our more evangelical churches is, while there is a lot of stress on doctrine, and I have no problem with that whatsoever. I have no problem with that. It's really fantastic that people should be stressing, the correct doctrines and so forth according to what they think. Okay, fine. Okay, no problem. But what I have a problem with is you, not you, Hank, but just you in general, stress doctrine, and you condemn someone because he or she is going to the wrong church. You condemn someone because they may have an icon. You condemn them for that. But then when it comes to what Jesus said about helping the poor, you don't do anything. So you're quite happy to condemn someone who is, who believes in say, the sacrament of the Eucharist, which is the real presence of Christ. You are willing to condemn such a person, and you make it into a big deal, as if to say, well, you see, he believes in the real presence. He's a heretic, and I am not. And you kind of get a lot of joy out of that, right? And on the other hand, when Jesus tells you, I'm not talking to you, Hank, I'm just talking the general you. And when Jesus tells us, I'll use another pronoun. When Jesus tells us that he was hungry and we didn't go to him, and he was thirsty and we didn't go to him, right? And then he condemns us for that we don't care about. But we say we believe in him. How can you believe in him when he's condemning you? He's condemning you because you're not doing something so dear to his heart, helping the poor.
That is so convicting. And maybe the last thing I want to ask you to elucidate for those thousands and thousands of people listening in. So often the Christian faith can be transactional in the sense that you pray a prayer and now you have, as it were, you have a card that gets you into heaven and a card that keeps you out of hell. But the Christian faith is not transactional, it's transformational. I mean, there should be something that happens within us that is transformational. Talk about that. Explain that to people.
Yes, absolutely. From glory to glory in the image of God. We have lost that. And it's like, look, I think you put it better than I did, actually. It's the struggle towards be perfect, be holy as my Father is holy, right? And part of the process of that stairway, that ladder towards holiness, it's a step by step that Christ himself has given to us. So I couldn't agree more, Hank. You've nailed it. The Christian life is a journey.